The planet Zolkar was quiet that day. Too quiet. The red sky above the alien city burned like fire, but everything on the ground felt cold. The guards in black armor stood lazily near the mines, laughing. They were tall, blue-skinned creatures with sharp teeth and cruel hearts. These were the Dravari, one of the most feared alien races in the galaxy. In the deep mines below, humans worked silently. They were dirty, tired, and hungry. Some were old, some young. No one remembered what freedom felt like. The Dravari had taken Earth colonies one by one. They said humans were weak, that they never fought back, that they begged instead of bled. One of the humans, a man named Jace, moved slowly through the mine. His shirt was torn, his face covered in dust, and his leg limped badly. But his eyes were sharp. Watching. Waiting. A soft voice whispered beside him. "You're hurt again," said Lyra, a young alien girl with purple skin and glowing, silver eyes. She was not like the other Dravari. She was kind, curious, and quiet. Secretly, she had been helping Jace, bringing him extra food and medicine stolen from her family. Jace gave a small smile. "It's just a scratch." Lyra looked worried. "They say your people have no army left. That Earth surrendered years ago." Jace didn't answer right away. He looked up toward the ceiling of the mine, then past it as if he could see through the rocks and metal and sky. "They're wrong," he whispered. "They think we gave up." Lyra tilted her head. "What do you mean?" He leaned in closer. "Sometimes silence is not surrender. Sometimes it's the sound of something big, something heavy. Coming." Lyra didn't understand. "Coming from where?" Jace whispered two words that made her shiver. "From orbit." That night, the sky changed. The Dravari command tower blinked with red lights. Radar screens screamed with alarm. A guard yelled, "Unidentified object entering orbit, fast and large." The alien officers gathered in confusion. "Another meteor? No, it's not natural. A ship? But whose?" Then came the sound. A deep rumble, like thunder, but heavier. It wasn't from the sky. It was in the sky, and every Dravari who heard it went still. The sound grew louder. Louder. It was not like any alien ship they knew. This was something old, something angry. A voice, mechanical and full of warning, echoed in the command room. "This is the Earthship Vindicator. You are holding our people. Release them. Now." The aliens froze. Lyra, standing beside Jace near the mine entrance, looked up. The stars were gone. Something massive blocked the light. A dark shape hovered above the planet, black and silver, covered in scars. It was not beautiful. It was terrifying. The Dravari captain laughed nervously. "They sent only one ship? Just one? Ha! Is that all? The humans have left?" But Jace knew the truth. He looked up and his eyes did not blink. "That's not a ship," he said softly. "That's a promise." Inside the human mine camps, something changed. People stood straighter. The silence of years turned into whispers, then murmurs, then quiet cheers. Someone started crying. Someone else whispered, "They came back. They really came back." Jace turned to Lyra, who now looked pale and unsure. "You asked if we still had an army," he said. "You're looking at it." Lyra shook her head. "But it's just one." He looked her in the eyes. "One human warship is enough." And then the warship spoke again, this time to the entire planet. "Sit tight, humans. We're not here to talk. We're here to take you home." Lyra's heart raced. For the first time, she wasn't afraid of the humans. She was afraid for her own people. The Dravari had ruled through fear. But fear, once broken, turns into fire. The mine shook. Human prisoners were moving, whispering codes, helping the weak. Something had been planned long ago, and now it was time. The skies above Zolkar glowed with a new kind of light, a human light, and for the first time in years, the Dravari knew what it felt like to fear. The alien command tower was in chaos. Red, lights flashed, sirens screamed, guards shouted in panic. No one knew where the warship had come from or how it found them, but in the dark corners of the mine, one human man sat calm. Jace. He didn't run. He didn't panic. He just looked up at the sky and whispered, "Right on time." Lyra, the young alien girl who secretly helped him, stared at him with wide silver eyes. How did you know?" she asked, her voice shaking. "The warship, the exact minute, the way you said it." Jace didn't answer at first. He gently pulled a worn strip of leather from his pocket. It looked old and useless, except for the tiny, blinking light at its center. Lyra gasped. "What is that?" He looked at her. "A memory. A message. A timer." "Timer?" He nodded. "Set 5 years ago, the day I was captured." 5 years ago, Jace had been a captain in Earth's defense force. When the Dravari invaded the outer colonies, his ship was shot down. He survived, but was taken prisoner before he could send a full distress signal. But Earth had protocols. In his last breath of freedom, he activated a silent beacon. Not a scream for help, but a whisper. A countdown. Every Earth warship across the galaxy received it, and the warship Vindicator was closest. They began preparing, not to invade, but to arrive exactly when needed. Back in the mines, Lyra looked at the blinking strip in Jace's hand. It was all planned? He shook his head. Not all. Just the moment. She was quiet. Then she asked, "Why didn't you tell anyone before?" Jace smiled. "Would you have believed me, would they?" She looked away. No. Above them, the massive human warship moved into low orbit. The ground trembled with its presence. In the alien command room, the Dravari general slammed his fist. "One ship, one," he screamed. "Why is one ship causing this much fear?" A quiet voice responded from the back. "Because humans are dangerous when quiet and deadly when patient." It was an old alien scientist. He had studied humans for decades. "They don't waste energy," he said. "They wait, and when they strike, it's final." In the prison quarters, the other humans began to notice Jace's strange calmness. "How do you know what's going on?" one asked. Jace only replied, "You'll see." The prisoners didn't fully trust him. They had lost too much for too long. Hope was dangerous. Hope got you killed. But then, the sky changed color. A second signal flashed through the mine. Walls. Every human prisoner felt something buzz near their bodies. Tiny implants, thought to be dead, suddenly activated, and a voice spoke inside their minds. "Code Echo, your captain lives. Operation Homefire begins." They stared at Jace in shock. "You're a captain?" He nodded once. "Still am." And that was the moment everything changed. Back in the alien towers, Lyra was brought before the command board. Her father, a security officer, had seen her near the humans too many times. "You've been speaking with the prisoners, especially the one called Jace." She didn't lie. "Yes." "Why?" She hesitated. "Because he doesn't sound like a prisoner. He speaks like he's already free." The commanders scoffed. But outside the window, the warship slowly opened its front bay. Light poured out. The Dravari watched in silence. And then, the message came again. "You have 1 hour. Return our people, or the sky burns." Back below, Jace was moving. Calmly, confidently. He gathered humans who could still walk. "Stick together. We don't fight until the signal. No mistakes, no panic." A young boy asked, "But what if they kill us before help lands?" Jace kneeled and looked him in the eye. "Then we'll die standing, not kneeling." The boy smiled. For the first time in years, he felt like someone had a plan. Lyra found Jace alone near the tunnel edge. "You should be scared," she said. "They'll come after you soon." "I've been scared," Jace replied, "but not anymore." She whispered, "Will the ship really destroy the city?" He looked into her glowing eyes and answered, "Only if they don't listen. Humans don't fight to destroy. We fight to protect. Always have. She looked up at the sky. Then, you're not the monsters they said you were. Jace chuckled. No. We're something worse. For tyrants. We're survivors. As the final countdown ticked away, the minds buzzed with tension. Above them, the human warship's weapons began to glow, and deep below, a single man, once broken, now burning with fire, waited. Because he had already told them, sit tight. The red sky of Zolkar lit up like fire. But it wasn't the human warship. Then a first explosion came from the ground. Boom! A massive burst of flame rose from the center of the alien military zone, shaking towers and sending black smoke into the air. Sirens screamed, walls cracked, windows shattered. Inside the alien command tower, everyone froze. What? What was that? Shouted the Dravari general. The alarm said it was an internal blast, not from space, not from above, from within. Jace stood still in the mine tunnels, staring up at the ceiling as dust fell from above. He smiled. They started. Beside him, Lyra looked terrified. Who? That wasn't your warship. No, Jace said calmly. That was us. Years ago, the humans captured on Zolkar were forced to dig tunnels, build systems, carry crates. But not all of them were weak. Some of them were soldiers, engineers, fighters, and they had been hiding their skills. In secret, they built hidden rooms, planted stolen energy cells, created fire lines under the city, all while pretending to be broken slaves. But it wasn't just humans. Some aliens, like Lyra, had doubts. A few others had lost faith in the Dravari's cruel rule. They passed notes, tools, even explosives in their boots and clothes. They didn't know when the signal would come. But Jace knew. In the command tower, panic took hold. Saboteurs! One officer shouted. They're inside the base. Another yelled. The general's face turned pale. Find the humans, kill the leaders. But it was already too late. The second explosion hit a transport hub. Hundreds of alien weapons were destroyed in seconds. The streets filled with smoke. Soldiers ran in every direction. But they couldn't see the enemy, because the enemy was already among them. Down below in the mines, Jace moved fast. He waved to the others. Time to move. Take only what you need. Prisoners dropped their tools and picked up hidden bags, food, medical packs, small knives. Everything had been planned. One man asked, "Should we fight now?" Jace shook his head. No, not until the warship starts its part. But didn't we already start the war? Another whispered. Jace looked him straight in the eye. We didn't start it. We're ending it. In the streets of Zolkar, a young Dravari soldier knelt behind a wall, shaking. He looked up at the sky. The human warship was still there, still quiet, not firing. Why? Why was it just watching? He didn't know that silence was part of the plan. Let the enemy break itself in fear before the first human missile even falls. Lyra ran with Jace through the tunnels. This wasn't supposed to happen, she said, breathing hard. This is exactly what was supposed to happen, Jace replied. But you were prisoners. How did you plan all this? He didn't slow down. We had time. Time teaches pain, but it also teaches patience. She looked at him. You've waited 5 years for this? He stopped for a moment, turned and looked at her. No, I waited for the right 5 minutes. And now they've started. In the heart of the alien city, one of the captured human engineers stood in a power room. He pulled a lever. Lights in part of the city went black. Alien screens died. Doors sealed. Control towers lost power. Then he whispered into a stolen comlink, "Power sector down. Phase 2 ready." Above them, the warship Vindicator finally moved. Slowly, carefully, it adjusted its position. It was targeting key alien defenses, but not firing. Not yet. It was waiting. Waiting for the final piece. Inside the alien command tower, the general gave a furious order. Fire at the human ship. Destroy it now. But the missile systems didn't respond. A tech officer turned pale and sweating. Sir, we've lost control. What? The codes. They've been overwritten. Someone's inside our network. And then a single message appeared on every alien screen. The sky doesn't strike first. The sky waits and watches you burn yourselves. The Dravari general stepped back, stunned. Who was this enemy? Not prey. Not weak. Something else. Something human. In the underground tunnels, Jace gave a final order. Seal the tunnels. Get everyone to safety. They'll start dropping bombs once they lose full control. Lyra grabbed his arm. You'll die if you stay. He gently pulled free. Then I'll die free. She stared at him, eyes full of fear and something more, something new. Respect. Above the burning city, the human warship finally charged its first cannon, and in the dark, smoky chaos of Zolkar, one thing became clear. The first strike didn't come from Earth. It came from the inside. And now, the sky was ready. The alien city of Zolkar was burning. Fires lit the streets. Smoke covered the skies. But still, the human warship didn't fire. It hovered above the planet like a silent giant, motionless, watching, waiting. Inside the Dravari. War command. The general screamed orders. Why won't it attack? Is it damaged? Is it bluffing? Shoot it down. But their systems were already failing. Their missiles were locked, power grids offline, radars jammed, and still, no missiles came from the human ship. Only silence. The kind of silence that made even the bravest warrior feel hunted. Jay stood on a hill of rubble outside the mines, wind blowing ash past his face. His clothes were torn, his hands dirty, but his eyes were calm. Lyra stood beside him, her glowing silver eyes fixed on the floating human warship. Why isn't it firing? She asked softly. Jace didn't answer right away. He looked at the burning towers, the screaming Dravari soldiers, the shadows of fleeing command ships. Then he said, Because fear is stronger than fire. Lyra turned to him. What? He pointed to the sky. That ship. It knows. If it fires now, it becomes just another monster. But if it waits, they destroy themselves. Above them, the Vindicator remained silent. Its surface shimmered with light. Every cannon glowed faintly. Ready. Not threatening. Just there. It sent a message again, this time broadcast across all frequencies, every device, every mind. Return our people. We will not ask again. The words were cold, not angry, not emotional, just final. The kind of voice that comes before a storm. In a hidden bunker, the Dravari general pounded his fists against the metal table. Why won't it just fire? It's wasting time. An old Dravari scholar looked at him calmly. No, he said. It's not wasting time. It's using time. Every second that passes, we grow more broken, more afraid, more ready to beg. The general growled. They're humans. Primitive. Emotional. But the scholar shook his head. That was our mistake. We confused kindness with weakness. Back in the tunnels, the human prisoners were evacuating. Quietly, carefully. No one ran. No one screamed. Everyone moved with purpose, because they trusted one thing. The warship above them was watching, and it would only act if they failed. Jace had taught them that. He didn't believe in rushing. He believed in surviving, and now the survivors were leading others. Lyra turned to Jace again. You're not like us. Dravari fight first. Talk later. Jace gave a sad smile. And look where that got you. Lyra looked down, ashamed. He touched her shoulder. You want to help? Tell your people what I told you. They still have a chance. But not for long. She stared at him. They won't listen to me. Maybe not, Jace said. But if one Dravari speaks truth, it might be the one voice that matters. She ran. Above, the Vindicator shifted slightly in orbit, Its cannons rotated. Its scanners zoomed in. Every Dravari leader was being tracked. Their escape ships were being tagged. Their cities were being mapped, but still, no weapons fired. Not yet. A message appeared on every Dravari screen. You wanted to see our strength? You're looking at it. In the city center, Lyra climbed the speaker tower. Sirens screamed in her ears. She grabbed the mic. To all Dravari, listen to me. Guards aimed their weapons, but civilians held them back. Lyra shouted, the humans are not here to destroy us. They are giving us a choice. Give back the prisoners. End this war before we lose everything. Someone threw a rock at her. Traitor! But someone else yelled, she's right. Look at the sky. That ship could have killed us already. And then, the human warship powered down its forward weapons. Everyone stopped. The city froze. Was this mercy or a warning? Back on the hill, Jace watched the sky dim slightly as the ship changed posture. He exhaled slowly. Now we wait for the real choice. What choice? Asked a young human girl beside him. He looked down at her and said gently, whether they live or they disappear from history. In the silence across a burning alien world, a human ship hovered like a god, unmoving, unshaken, and unwilling to strike first, because the predator doesn't waste energy. It waits, and when it strikes, it never misses. Zolkar's skies were still burning. The human warship Vindicator remained above the planet, silent and patient like a hunter with claws tucked in. Below, the alien leadership pretended to surrender. They sent out a message. We are preparing to release the humans. Please do not fire. But it was a lie, a cruel one. In a hidden underground launch bay, dozens of human children were being loaded into a dark alien cargo ship. Their wrists were locked with glowing cuffs. Many cried. Some were too tired to scream. A tall Dravari commander whispered to his team, we'll take them to the edge of the system. Sell them off before that ship even notices. But the warship is scanning everything, one pilot whispered. The commander grinned. That's why we're using a stealth ship. No signal, no trace, and by the time they realize, we'll be gone. They believed they were smarter than humans, but they were not. In the mines, Jace was helping an injured man when a message came through his stolen comlink. Multiple heat signatures detected. Underground launch activity. Cargo manifest. Includes small bioforms. His blood ran cold. Children, he whispered. Without a word, he ran. At the edge of the forest near the hidden hangar, Lyra waited. She had been sent by Jace to watch the emergency zones. She believed the Dravari might try something stupid. She just didn't think they'd be this evil. Now, she crouched in the grass, watching guards move children like packages. Her heart pounded. She knew she couldn't stop them. But she didn't have to. Above the planet, Vindicator stirred. Its forward sensors locked onto the hangar's underground heat bloom. It didn't fire. Not yet. Instead, a single black pod dropped from its side. Silent. Fast. Inside the pod, a human combat AI. Cold, deadly, and faster than anything the Dravari had ever built. The cargo ship began powering up. One of the children, a girl no older than 8, held her little brother and whispered, will they take us far from the stars? I want to go home, the boy cried. A guard growled, quiet! That's when the pod slammed into the launch bay wall, exploding metal and throwing guards off their feet. From the smoke stepped a tall, armored figure with glowing blue eyes. Human, but not human. The AI spoke. These are not yours. The Dravari opened fire. The bullets bounced off the AI's armor. In seconds, it dropped 3 guards with a single sweep of its plasma blade. Others fled. One tried to launch the ship, but the AI drove its blade straight into the console. Explosion. Fire. Screams. And the children? Safe. Outside, Lyra rushed in as the door blew open. Smoke poured out. She found the children crying, and the AI standing still. It scanned her face. She raised her hands. I'm with Jace, she said. The AI tilted its head, then turned its back and picked up the smallest child with gentle, robotic care. Lyra's heart softened. Even machines made by humans had kindness. In the distance, Jace arrived, panting and angry. He looked around. He had seen war, but betrayal like this? It cut deeper than wounds. He turned to Lyra. "Your people gave their word." "I know," she said. "But some don't care about words." He looked down at the children, then at the burning wreck of the cargo ship. "I'll make sure Earth never forgets this." High above, the Vindicator changed posture, not for threat, but for warning. It sent out one final message. "You promised peace. You chose betrayal. Now, Earth will decide your worth." In the Dravari capital, the council argued. It was one commander's mistake. They'll fire now. Send a message, say it was unauthorized. But Earth doesn't listen to words after broken promises. It watches. Then it decides. That night, Lyra sat with the rescued children. They huddled near a generator's warm hum. Jace gave them water and wrapped blankets around their small shoulders. One child asked, "Why do they hate us?" Jace looked at him, tired but firm. "Because they fear what they don't understand. But someday they'll understand what humans really are." "What are we?" the girl asked. Jace answered without blinking. "We are the reason tyrants lose sleep." The city of Zolkar was breaking. Its towers were cracked, its soldiers confused, its people silent with fear. Above it all, the human warship Vindicator hovered, still, refusing to fire. But it didn't need to, because a single man was already walking into the heart of the storm. Jace, unarmed, unshaken, uninvited. The alien guards at the city gate aimed their weapons as he approached. His clothes were dirty, his boots torn, his arms raised. "I want to speak," he said. One laughed. "You think we let a human prisoner talk to the High Council?" Jace's reply was calm. "You don't have to let me, but if I don't walk in there, that warship will speak for me." He pointed up. The sky growled in reply. Quiet, but not empty. The guards froze. Then a voice came through their comlink. A high-ranking order. "Let him in." Inside the council tower, alien leaders stood behind armored glass, watching the human walk across the grand hall alone. Their robes were spotless, their hands trembled. "This is madness," one whispered. "He's bluffing," said another. But when Jace reached the center, he pulled something from a pouch strapped to his belt. Not a weapon, not a bomb. A small, metallic cube. He pressed it, and the room filled with light. Images appeared, holograms flickering in the air, children in cages. Humans beaten in mines. Secret meetings where Dravari commanders planned illegal trades. Audio clips of laughter as humans were called animals. A soldier bragging, "They'll never know. Earth is too far to care." Silence filled the room. Then, Jace looked at them and spoke. "You lied," he said simply. "You made deals. Then you broke them. You took our people. Used them. Sold them." The High Speaker stepped forward. "You have no proof that the Council—" Jace didn't let him finish. "The warship outside is listening. Every word you speak now is being recorded." The speaker's mouth closed. Jace stepped closer. "Earth gave you peace. You gave us chains. Now Earth is watching, and it's your last chance to speak honestly." The silence returned. Then a female, Dravari noble, stepped forward. She had silver markings on her face, sign of truth-tellers in their culture. She looked at Jace. "I was told humans could be emotional." "Soft," she said. He nodded. "We are. But I see now that your strength is not in anger." He met her eyes. "No, our strength is in memory." She blinked. "Memory? We never forget," Jace said. "Not pain, not hope, not betrayal." Outside, the warship slowly shifted its cannon alignment again. Every sensor on the planet picked it up. The countdown had begun. Lyra stood at the edge of the mines, watching from a hilltop. Beside her, the rescued children pointed up at the ship. "Is it going to shoot?" "No," Lyra said softly. Not if he does what he came to do. Who? The boy asked. She smiled. Jace. Back in the council hall, the Dravari speaker finally whispered, "What do you want from us?" Jace raised the cube again. This time it displayed Earth's emblem, golden and proud. "I want freedom for every human on this planet, now. I want an end to your trade routes that traffic children. I want public apology across the entire sector, and I want it broadcast through your own systems. You ask for a lot." "No," Jace said. "I'm offering you a choice." The lights flickered. A final message came through every screen. On Zolkar, target lock complete, awaiting one word from Commander Jace. The council stared at him. He didn't look afraid, not even a little, because in that moment, they understood something terrifying. This one man held back a god. A tear rolled down the cheek of the truth-teller. She bowed her head, and then, slowly, the others followed. The speaker said, "The humans are free." Outside, cheers echoed through the camps. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. The warship pulled back, silent again, but not forgotten. Never forgotten. As Jace walked out of the tower, the same guards who mocked him now stood in silence. One of them whispered, "You didn't need a weapon." Jace gave a tired smile. "No. I brought the truth." And the truth hit harder than any bomb ever could. Zolkar was quiet. For the first time in decades, no orders echoed from the alien command tower. No ships flew overhead. No guards patrolled the streets. The fires were gone, but smoke still lingered. It was the silence after a storm, the kind of silence where the air feels different. In the middle of that silence, a single sound rose, a slow human anthem. Not loud, not proud, just steady, like a heartbeat returning after near death. Jace stood on the broken balcony of the tower, looking over the city. Beside him, Lyra stood with her hands folded. They were watching something rise slowly above the highest building, a tall metal pole held up by human workers and a few quiet Dravari civilians. At the top of that pole was a simple cloth, dark blue. Gold lines, Earth's flag, and as it unfurled in the wind, every eye, human and alien, looked up. No one spoke, because that flag meant only one thing: the humans were no longer prisoners. In the mines, children pointed upward and smiled. In the streets, former guards lowered their weapons. In the sky, the human warship Vindicator hovered peacefully, its cannons powered down, its light casting a soft glow across the planet. It had waited. It had watched. And now, it protected. Lyra looked at Jace. "So, what now?" He didn't answer at first. He looked at the people below. Humans helping aliens rebuild water stations, children sharing food, old enemies sitting under the same broken tower, talking. Finally he said, "We don't plant flags to conquer. We plant them to remember." Remember what? That we were here. That we endured. That we didn't break. At the base of the new Earth flag, a small Dravari boy placed a wildflower on the stone. His mother, once a guard, stood behind him, holding his hand. A human nurse knelt and helped tie a bandage to the boy's scraped leg. No words were spoken. None were needed. Back inside the council hall, the Dravari nobles signed a document, broadcast, "Live to the galaxy. We recognize the full dignity of Earth's people. We release all captives. We declare peace and reparations." The message traveled across stars. Other alien empires saw it. Some laughed, some applauded, but all remembered it, because no one expected Earth to come back. No one thought a single ship could win a war. They forgot what humans were made of. Until now. Later that night, Lyra sat with Jace beneath the stars. They shared a simple meal, bread and stew, cooked over a fire built from broken weapons. She looked at the sky. Your people, they never gave up. Jace stirred the fire. Giving up is easy. But surviving? That's where the pain is. And the strength, she added. He nodded. Exactly. She hesitated, then asked, "Will you leave now?" Jace looked up at the glowing human ship above. "Maybe," he said. "But only after the last child is safe. After the last wound is healed. After the last lie is buried." As dawn broke, something new happened. The Vindicator sent a beam of light to the planet's surface. Inside it, a small satellite dropped gently to the ground. Lyra walked up and touched it. "What is it?" she asked. Jace smiled. "A reminder." The satellite opened and began to play a hologram, images of human history, Earth's jungles, oceans, deserts, cities full of life, families, soldiers, teachers, survivors. And a voice spoke softly. "We are Earth. We are many. We are flawed. But we remember. We protect. We endure. And when the sky calls, we answer." The people of Zolkar, both human and Dravari, gathered around to watch. Even the children stayed quiet. No one moved, because that message wasn't just for Zolkar. It was for the whole galaxy. Jace stood up, dusted off his hands, and turned to walk down the hill. Lyra called after him. "Where are you going?" He paused, looking back with a grin. "To fix what's still broken." As the sun rose, it touched the human flag fluttering above the tower. Strong, quiet, unshaken. The same way Earth had arrived. And now, as the galaxy watched, only one flag remained in the sky, and it whispered a truth the stars would never forget. Humans fight last, but when they do, they never fight alone.